What is going on, 12? Aidan Pham here. Week 14 of the NFL. The Seattle Seahawks are set to take on the New York Jets. And the Seahawks are coming off a very disappointing performance against the Giants in a game they lost 17-12. I expect Seattle to play much better football this game. And I expect them to just build confidence for the future in this game as it's against the New York Jets. And here is my Week 14 keys to victory. Alright, so here is the odds for this week's game. Seattle coming into this week is a 13.5 point favorite against the New York Jets. This is a must-win for Seattle to get on the right road and hopefully go to the Super Bowl. Last week's loss was totally unacceptable, and I feel like this is the week that they get things right. So moving on, Seattle's last 5 games against the Bills, they lost to 44-33. The Rams 23-16, another loss, and they win against the Cardinals 28-21, along with the Eagles 23-17. Those are 2 good games for Seattle. And then just last week, they lose to the New York Giants 17-12. As I said, a very disappointing loss. But the Jets, on the other hand, their last 5 games, they got blown out by the Chiefs 35-9. They lost to the Patriots 30-27. They also lost to the Chargers 34-28. The Dolphins 20-3, another blowout. And just last week, a very interesting game. The Raiders, however, came out on top 31-28 against the Jets. So they haven't won a game this season yet. They've been there very close, especially last week, until they blitzed and did a cover 0, and Henry Ruggs caught that great thrown ball by Derek Carr. And the Jets lose another game. Alright, so moving on to my keys to victory. My first key to victory is for Russell Wilson. Let Russ cook. The Jets' run defense is absolutely not bad. They average 3.8 yards per carry and 107.8 yards per game. Their yards per carry is 3rd in the league, and their yards per game is 9th. So they definitely are not bad when it comes to the run game on defense. And Russell Wilson has struggled the last couple weeks, so this is a team where I feel like it's a good situation for him to thrive in and just get things right and be confident. Russell Wilson versus Sam Darnold, the 2 quarterbacks in this game. Now, I'm being generous, but Russell Wilson is the better quarterback in this game. Russell Wilson, a 70.0 completion percentage, 3,479 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a 70.5 quarterback rating. Sam Darnold, on the other hand, 58.9 completion rate, 1,428 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 38.6. So, yeah, Sam Darnold is struggling this year. On the other hand, the Jets' defense, when it comes to passing, this is a game for Russell Wilson, okay? 104.1 rating for their defense and 291 yards per game. Russell Wilson needs to come out of this game with at least 300 yards. I'm sure Seattle is going to rely on the passing game, as the Jets' defense is very good. So Russell Wilson, this is the game for you to show off your skills and hopefully give the Seattle Seahawks a W. My second keys to victory is to protect Russell Wilson. Last week, the Seahawks had 5 sacks against the Giants. That 4th and 18 situation, I said it last week, I'll say it this week. We can't have that if we want to win football games. It's totally unacceptable. Russell Wilson needs to have time in the pocket to thrive in success. He can barely make reads he's getting pressured from all around. The pocket is collapsing. Now, I get it. Some of the times it's Russell Wilson's fault, but other times it's just the offensive line. They just need to do a better job in protecting him. However, Seattle does get Brandon Shell back this week from a 2-game ankle injury, so that should be some help on the offensive line. And I'm very curious. Let me know down in the comments below, what is your confidence level from a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst and 10 being the highest, like full confidence. What is your confidence level in this offensive line? Because I'll tell you, mine is 5. They're not good, but they're not bad. They definitely need improvement, but they're not like to the point where Russell Wilson is getting sacked every play. He is getting sacked a lot, which is terrible, but they're not that bad. Okay, so they just need to improve. If they give Russell Wilson time in the pocket, I'm sure he's going to make great opportunities with it, and Seattle is hopefully going to win this game. My third keys to victory is to win the turnover battle. Seattle's defense versus Colt McCoy, 105 yards, 67.4 passer rating, and 1 interception. So they did a great job against the Giants. Even though it may not have looked that way, it definitely was not on the defense for that loss. It was on the offensive side of the ball. We must win the turnover battle to help Russell Wilson. This offense has been struggling, and they need as much help as possible. And they're going up against Sam Darnold this week. Again, as I showed you his stats earlier, he has 33 sacks this year. That's tied for 25th in the NFL. Jamal Adams returning to face the Jets, his former team. I'm sure he's going to get sacks in that game. And it's just, we need to pressure the quarterback, force him to make turnovers, force him to make mistakes. Take advantage of Sam Darnold when you get the chance to, because we can't let what happened last week happen again. Quentin Dunbar is also going to be returning to his cornerback, the second cornerback position, which will also mean that DJ Reed will hopefully return to his nickel spot position. And you can play Ryan Neal at safety, or you can put him at the nickel position, but Quentin Dunbar returning to the Seattle defense is a great piece because he's a turnover machine. He's great at pass coverage, and that's something Seattle needs right now. And my predictions for this week game is Seattle's going to win, okay? 31-18, hopefully. I don't think it's going to be like a huge blowout, but I do think that Seattle is going to have a very big gap in between the score. And please, Seattle, not make this one of those close games you always do. Us Seahawks fans deserve to have one of those games where we could just sit back and like relax and watch the game and enjoy it, not like have a heart attack every 2 seconds. And I just want to go briefly into this. The NFC West standings sit at the Rams in first place at 8-4. Seattle at 8-4 also, but they lost that game to the Rams, which puts them in second place. The Cardinals are in third place with a record of 6-6, so a .500. And the 49ers falling below 500 with a record of 5-7 after they lost to the Bills on Monday Night Football. The playoff picture, the division leaders are in first place, who clinched their playoff berth last week, was the Saints at 10-2. The Packers in second place, who can also clinch a playoff berth this week, but a couple things have to happen for that to occur. The Packers are 9-3. The Rams in third place, which used to be Seattle's spot, but last week after that Giants loss, we know what happened. The Rams at 8-4, and the Giants in fourth place at 5-7. Those are the division leaders. In the wild card position, the Seahawks are at 8-4, followed closely behind by the Bucs, only by 1 game, at 7-5, and the Vikings at 6-6. And that's really all I have for this week. Seattle, their next 4 games, the Jets, Washington football team, Rams, 49ers. I predict they're going to win at least 3 out of those 4, maybe if they're playing at an elite level. But it's so important that Seattle gets things right this game. They need it very badly. And I'm sure if we just play great football, stop the mistakes, protect Russell Wilson, cause turnovers, take advantage of Sam Darnold, we are on our way to a Jets versus Seahawks victory. So that's it for my Week 14 Keys to Victory video on Hawks Talk, my new YouTube segment. So please subscribe. That would really help me down below. In the comments also, please give me any suggestions for future videos, as well as how you think the Seattle Seahawks record is going, or season is going, I should say. And that's it for Hawks Talks Week 14 Keys to Victory. I'll see you with my game recap against the Jets, and that's all for now.